Fortnite Creative in Chapter 4 Season 1 was interesting. Let's talk about it. Hello and welcome to Creative in Review, the brand new seasonal series where I talk about the additions to Fortnite Creative over the past season and how good, bad, or just plain mid they were. So, let's jump into Season 1 with version 23.0. Chapter 4 Season 1 launched on December 4th, 2022, and Creative got possibly the most buggy update it's ever received. This update introduced version 2 devices, which are basically upgraded versions of some devices like the Trigger, HUD Message, and Sequencer. These new device variants have improved UX, more color options, additional options for some, and even switching some from traps to props. The issue? Instead of just replacing the devices like Epic did with, say, the Barrier or Mutator Zone, you have to press an irreversible upgrade button in your island settings. Even now, but especially on launch, doing this would break a ton of devices and cause brand new issues that weren't present in your maps before. In one instance, my water device completely de-rendered and any space where it used to be would glitch the player when entered. In another, all of my devices were deleted from the map, but their memory values stayed. Yeah, not good. Much like the Chapter 3 launch in 2021, we got a handful of new weapons to add to our islands on launch. These were the Red Eye Assault Rifle, Thunder Shotgun, Maven Auto Shotgun, Twin Mag SMG, and Tactical Pistol. These are all solid weapons that are fun to play with and great for user islands, unlike some Chapter 3 launch weapons. Oh, and the Assault Rifle was split into two weapons for some reason. A new movement option was also added, hurdling. This allows players to vault over smaller obstacles in their way, like a mini mantle, but without using stamina. This feature was disabled for like all of Season 1 in BR, so Creative was the only way to experience it. Nice one, Epic. Version 23.10 came in hot on December 13th, bringing some exciting new additions from Battle Royale Chapter 4. Dirt bikes were added in this update. These are an awesome addition from BR and the cheapest vehicle we've ever had, costing just 800 memory on its first placement. They're also really fun to ride around on and score tricks with. A pretty great addition all around. This update also added some more Chapter 4 items, the Excalibur Rifle, Slap Juice, and Slap Berries. These were cool additions, not insanely exciting personally, but the addition of the slap stamina mechanic was nice, and the Excalibur is a pretty unique themed weapon. The version 23.20 update took significantly longer to drop, just over a month in fact, but it brought some pretty great additions. The Reboot Van was added as a device in this update. This was a long-awaited addition, with the vans and their respective cards being introduced back in 2019 in Chapter 1 Season 8. The van allows for players who have been eliminated to be respawned by their teammates, using the reboot card they drop on elimination. A great addition that will revolutionize PvP maps for sure. That old ball spawner device that no one uses was replaced by a new one in this update. The main difference beyond the design is the updated physics system and more customization options for creators. Neato. This update brought a few more Chapter 4 items, some of my personal favourites in fact. First is the Shockwave Hammer, a melee weapon that you can use to bounce around your maps. Then there's the Falcon Scout, a drone that marks enemies and can pick up loot and knock teammates, super useful in team-based PvP maps. And finally, there's the Guardian Shield, which creates a big old shield that only you and your teammates can't shoot through. This update was the start of a series of 3 very solid updates for Creative. Next up, version 23.30 released on my birthday, and Epic celebrated it by ensuring that this update is a big one. This update introduced over-budget editing. The limit to publish remains 100,000 memory, but new maps created after this update can go up to 115k, so people can more easily optimize their maps and test them before publishing. It's pretty neat, though I wish it applied to maps created before this update. The Crowd Volume device was added. It basically just spawns a bunch of cheering spectators. Think of it as the character device if it wasn't mid, but only a few of these can be placed in the map unfortunately. The hiding props introduced way back in Chapter 2 were finally added in this update. These are haystacks, dumpsters, and porta potties that players can hide from their enemies in. Later on in version 23.50, the ability to travel through said props to effectively fast travel across the map was added. Sky jellies were added to the wildlife device, the first addition to this thing since it was released back in Chapter 2 Season 6. They're a really cool addition and I love just messing around with them, and they're pretty cute too. Although I do wonder why loot sharks and crows were never added. Also, where's that Columbo device, Epic? Come on. The Cyber City prefabs and galleries from the Sunburst console were added in this update. These are a hugely expansive set of prefabs and galleries with a ton of futuristic, tech-based pieces that are really cool and open the door for so many more themed maps. While other people were, dating on Valentine's Day, I was playing the hot new Fortnite Creative version 23.40 update, which brought more helpful additions. The Citadel prefabs and galleries, the first new POI from Chapter 4 to be added to Creative, were added in this update. These brought new medieval and castle themed pieces to the game. The long awaited Chapter 4 nature was also added in this update. Well, some of it anyway. The autumn stuff was added. There's nothing from the oak biome or the snow biome. Still, that's pretty cool, right? The pop-up dialogue device was overhauled in this update with a ton of new settings that revolutionize menus in creative mode. People have been creating some incredible new, clean, and effective UI for their maps, including myself. The 5 exotic weapons from the Battle Royale's Most Wanted event were added. These heisted exotics are all really fun and unique, and they're the first we've received since the arrival of exotic weapons in the Chapter 3 Season 2 launch. We're still missing a few though. Version 23.50 was a much smaller update, probably due to its proximity to the Season 2 launch and the fact that it follows 3 large updates. Chapter 3 Shifty Shafts, prefabs and galleries were added. They only had like 2 new props, but hey, it's nice to see some Shifty love finally that isn't just the mineshaft galleries. Well, that was Chapter 4 Season 1 for Fortnite Creative. With 18 major additions across 6 updates, I'm gonna go out and say that this was an incredible season for Creative. We got revolutionary new devices like the pop-up overhaul and the reboot van, a huge selection of new weapons and items, some POIs both new and old represented, and even nature from a whole new art style. Season 1 was really solid for Creative. The only downside was the fairly disappointing final update and the month wait between point 10 and point 20. Still, an incredible season and a ton of amazing additions. I give Chapter 4 Season 1's Fortnite Creative an 8 out of 10. See you in Season 2, I think it's going to be mega.